All right, you guys, we've got just under 10 minutes here until the big system update for the Zamorak boss fight. And I want to just make a little clip here to talk about a few of the patch notes that are coming in with this update. And I'll probably just throw this into like my overall thoughts video or whatever later. I am going to be recording right away when the update drops, doing one of my first look style videos where I'm jumping straight into the dungeon and I'm going to try it out. I'm going to be soloing to start at least. Just because that's how I want to do it at the beginning. And also nobody that I normally PVM with is actually going to be online for this one. But yeah, basically everything is the same as we've known it about since the stream. They already released the news post here. There is also a mini quest coming with this called Aftermath. And from what it sounds like, it's just kind of like how Curse of the Black Stone, that quest takes you through the first 3 elite dungeons. This mini quest is going to be the same for this. Like, so in the mini quest, you're going to have to do a run of the dungeon. Of course, it can be in story mode, and whatever like that. Of course, the 10% damage reduction is already coming from Twilight of the Gods, so we don't have to worry about that. Also, I don't want to enter my pin at the moment, but I am fully prepared from the Demon Invasion event. I got 10 reroll tokens from that. I didn't do any God Wars 3 to get additional ones, but I at least did the event for those. And there's a couple patch notes. They say that you can no longer skip to the final boss of an elite dungeon. That's a bug that's been around forever, and people have been abusing it for a long time. It's been a lot of memes on Reddit about it. Maybe they fixed it. Who knows? But yeah. The big patch though that might slip under the radar if you don't check out the patch notes, because of course this is the big update of Zamorak, is the fact that they have reduced the consumption of the new Dine arrows. So the Bic, Jas, Wen, and Fool arrows. They will now only be consumed for 1 in 3 for each hit. So I guess it's a 33% chance per hit, or I guess per time it activates. So like if you're at full stacks with the Bic arrows, it wouldn't activate regardless, but it'll only be basically they've reduced the chance for it to get consumed to 33% from 100%. So you're basically going to be consuming 1/3 as many arrows. A bit of a lame way to I guess fix it, but or whatever you want to call it, but definitely going to make it a little less painful to upkeep those arrows. And that was pretty much the only thing on the patch notes. You can also now do the yak track with beach activities if you want to do that. So I guess that's kind of significant as well. But I am very, very excited for this boss to come out. I can't remember the last time I, had a really, I was really prepared and online for the system update of a new boss. It's been a really long time. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't able to do that for any of the God Wars 3 bosses. I really wish I could have done it for Archglacior, but I was like not feeling well when that came out. So yeah, I am super excited to jump right into it here. I don't think I'm going to be, doing very good, really. I'm quite rusty with PVM. I haven't PVM'd in quite a long time. I didn't really do any to prepare for this, which I probably should have. And I've kind of semi-recently changed my keybinds, so that's not going to be helping me too much either. But regardless, we are definitely going to be doing our best here. And I mean, I kind of think it might not be too difficult at 0% enrage, but who knows, honestly, if that's the truth or not. What? I'll hear the speech. Are you kidding? Oh, right. I think they did this a while back. You can see what he's saying in the chat here. I think they did this a few times on the other days. I never actually saw it. That's pretty cool. Zamorak's like talking and yeah, pretty cool. They did this yesterday, at least I remember. I don't know if anyone else saw it. But it's a pretty cool little worldwide thing that can happen, and reminds me of when Dungeoneering was coming out and everyone was forced to face that direction at some point, which was people freaked out about that. I think it was like the strange power or whatever it was. But yeah, anyway, we are going to get into the update right when it comes out. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys there. Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Zamorakian Undercity, giving my overall thoughts on the update and the boss and the dungeon. and just talking about, how I've been doing there. If you missed it earlier today, I did upload a pretty long video, almost 2 hours of my first dungeon run. I showed the full run. Got a little bit lost at a couple of points, but once I figured out the way to go, it wasn't too bad. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The first run was awesome. Seeing the whole new area and everything was really cool. And I think I killed the boss on my fourth or fifth try, although a couple of my deaths were a little bit silly. And there was some things that took me a little bit longer to figure out than I was kind of happy with. After rewatching it, I felt a little bit silly. But yeah, since then, I have now done 4 solo kills and 3 duo kills. We did some duos, and I did, of course, get that codex in the video on my first kill. I got the Codex of Lost Knowledge, sold that for 1.2 bill. And just now on my third duo kill, if you look in the chat here, I was duoing with Nuz, and he managed to pick up the Vestments of Havoc robe top from the boss, and that sold for 1.7 bill. So that was an 875 mil split for me. So I basically made 2.1 bill ish this release already, which is pretty awesome. I couldn't believe it when I saw that broadcast show up. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, he managed to pick that up, and it was very, very nice little split there for us. And I think I've got a pretty good handle on the boss at this point, enough to make a day one guide. I kind of like making the day one guides because I don't really have to know everything about everything and what the best strategies are. Like usually my day one guides are just tailored to helping people, get their first kill or to at least just understand the boss a little bit more. So I'll probably be making one of those later tonight, just going over all the mechanics and the ways that I deal with them, which aren't necessarily the best ways or anything like that, but it works for me to get kills. I haven't died at all since my first kill on the boss. I haven't died at all. It's not been an issue. There's only one, or I guess probably one or two, mainly 2 special attacks that can really just kill you outright. And then, I'm not sure how exactly it all works out, depending on the order you do the edicts. Of course, that can maybe change things in that regard. But I've done them the same way every time at the moment, and it's not the fastest way. It's a pretty slow and safe way, but I'm still getting, we still get like 7.5-minute kills ish, which isn't too bad. Compared to some people on the high scores that I've been looking at, I think the really good teams are getting, anywhere from 4.5 to 5-minute kills, which is, I'm sure they're doing the execution hex first or something like that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the boss. I like it a lot. One thing that I kind of am not a huge fan of is the dungeon's amount of scaling is a bit crazy. So I did 0% enrage for my first kill in solo. So I have 4 kills there and 3 kills in group, but I'm at 30% enrage max on both of those. So we just started in group at 10%, and then our most recent kill was at 30% enrage, and my most recent solo mode kill was at 30% enrage. So I've completed those, and I have 40% enrage unlocked on those to do in my next attempt. But the health of the monsters in the dungeons is already getting really high. It goes up really fast, and there's also already been some additional monsters added in a couple of locations, and it's pretty cool seeing the things change. And if you have done the dungeon or you watched my video, I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that at some point in the enrage levels, the second switch in the dungeon that lets you get through to the big mini boss is going to be moved back further along the path, perhaps at some point in enrage, because where it is right now is really weird. It's like halfway, or not even halfway, like right at the beginning of one of the paths, and it seems a little bit strange that that's how it works, but maybe not. I would just be kind of surprised if that was just the default and stays that way forever. But yeah, I thought it'd be cool when it was all changing and stuff as the enrage went up. But the health of the monsters is pretty brutal, and it's honestly mainly the demons. The demons are really, really annoying because they have this little buff that you might remember from my video, which says that you'll never miss on them, but your damage is affected by your accuracy. And it turns out, just the way whatever formula they're using for that ends up working out, is that you just do less damage. You do way less damage to those things, and they have absolute massive health bars. They are just huge damage sponges. I think in our most recent run in the duo mode, they were like up at 360k plus on some of them. So that would be like almost 200k HP in solo. It's just kind of crazy, honestly, those things. I think they need to adjust that buff or debuff or whatever you want to call it, since at the moment they are just a pain and just a slog to kill. They're just damage sponges. They don't do anything special or interesting. They're just big hunks of meat that get in your way. So I don't know. That kind of started to get old for me a little bit there as we were going, but and you do need to get 250% in rage and 25 kills to be able to skip the dungeon. So that's pretty long way off for a lot of people. The top people right now are at like 110, 120% in rage. So I haven't looked anything up if there's any new mechanics that come to the boss. I would assume that there probably are going to be new mechanics for the boss at like 100% maybe, and maybe at other points too. Just because, I mean, I don't want to say, like, I really like the boss. It's a really cool fight, and I really like how you can choose your path a little bit. But it was honestly a little bit easier than I was expecting it to be. It's not really that difficult. I don't know. I don't really know why I would think that. Maybe it's just because I'm more experienced in PVM at this point. But I mean, I would say that the Carapac hard mode, at least when it was released, was harder than this. At least that's how it feels like for me. But still, I mean, I did enjoy it, and it's definitely interesting and a pretty fun fight. Again, as I said, I don't really like how the traps stun you. That's kind of annoying because he puts traps on all of the pads once you use the trap hacks, and he keeps refreshing those as well. So like if you go to charge one of the edicts after doing the trap hex, it'll have a trap on it when you go to charge it, and then if you don't get off it soon enough after it's charged, it'll put another trap on it and it'll hit you again. So those are a bit annoying. And I really haven't made much cognizant use of the edict buffs at all. A lot of them are kind of just random, like that you wouldn't really want to make too much use of, I guess, but some of them are interesting and definitely would be worth looking into, maybe getting some more use out of. Like the ability cooldowns being reduced is the biggest one, of course. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly if anyone's really incorporating those in any specific way, but that's like one thing that my guide definitely wouldn't include, that would probably be included in later guides, is like more details on how you want to be leveraging those edict buffs for your kills to be faster. I kind of just do the runes that I think are the safest, and then whatever buffs end up helping me out, they help me out whenever they do, but I don't actually specifically try and make use of them in a specific way. I just they're just there. So yeah, overall though, I definitely think it's an enjoyable new boss and a fun update. And I mean, I guess the drops aren't super rare. I haven't seen anybody getting a bow piece, so I'm not sure if those are just super rare or what. But or maybe we just got really lucky. Who knows? But either way, it's a really fun release. And yeah, overall, I just don't think, like for me, I don't think the dungeon is going to be worth running at all once you get 250% and can skip it, because the loot in the dungeon is not that great, really. This is what I've gotten from all 7 kills. It's 40.5 mil. I mean, a lot of random runes in here, the 1-dose potions, but I mean, nothing in here is really that special. I got this thing. This is one of the new disassemblies that gives you, I think, some undead components, which are not too bad. But yeah, overall, there's really not much interesting. For some reason, you get an actual ton of normal planks, which is kind of weird. But nothing really going to be worth running the dungeon for. And you might think that the slivers will be worth running for, but it turns out you really don't need that many slivers, which I was kind of surprised to find out. You only need ever on your account 33 of each sliver. And if you do this entire event, I think you're going to be able to get like 22 of each or something like that. If you do every day you do the event. I haven't been doing it on this account, but still, for each of the glove, or I guess that they use the automaton gloves to make these, but these are for the rings. For each of the rings ones, you need 10. For each of the what are these ones? For each of the glove buff ones, you only need 8. So those are the cheapest ones. And then for the weapon buff ones, you need 15. So unless they add some additional enchantments in a future update, you're really not going to need to do a whole lot of the dungeon to get enough slivers to have all of these enchantments. And the slivers are untradeable. I'm fairly positive of that. Yeah, so you have to get them yourself, but once you do, and once you're at 250% in rage, and, you know, can skip the dungeon, I really don't see any reason why you wouldn't do it, especially because at that point, it's probably going to be ridiculously high HP, especially on those, again, greater demon things that have that ridiculous damage soaking capability. So, yeah, I think they might need to tweak something either on the demons themselves or maybe make the loot better. I don't know if it just somehow gets extremely a lot better at higher enrages or what, but yeah. And the normal loot from the boss as well hasn't been super exciting either. It's, you know, it's in the realm of like 2 to 4 mil ish, at least for all my kills so far. And it's like, you know, Serenic scales or onyxes or you know, the usual suspects from boss loot. So nothing too exciting there, but still, I definitely really enjoyed the release. It was a great time. Hold on, I'm just going to. Oh, apparently you can actually unlock the skip by doing 25 kills on normal mode, but you can only skip. I'm just reading a thing that Nuz just sent me. You can only skip in rages you have access to through complete runs or above 250. What? So 25 kills on normal would get you normal skip and 0% enraged skip only. Oh, I see. So you have to run the dungeon to push enrage all the way up to 250, regardless of your kill count. But if you only want to do normal mode, you can do 25 kills in normal mode, and then you can skip normal mode. So that makes sense, I guess. But then every time after 250, even if you're pushing enrage, you can skip it regardless, it sounds like. So yeah, that makes sense. But it is a little weird how that system works. So basically still what I said, although you don't, yeah, if you want to be able to skip and keep pushing in rage, which is what I assume most people would want, you have to get 250 in rage and get the 25 kills by doing that. So yeah, that's going to take quite a long time, but yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on the boss in the comments. I mean, I think it's been, I think it was a good release. There were some bugs that they hotfixed quite fast. I didn't run into any, I don't think. I know I mentioned it in the comments, but the part where the prison guard went up into the ceiling, there is a way to get up there. It's just a staircase that I missed seeing, and there's like some broken stuff to get up there. And yeah, like I said, I'll probably make another guide or a day one guide tonight. I'm gonna just go do like one more solo dungeon run and use that to record the footage. It'll be focused on the boss. I won't really talk about the dungeon too much, but I can make a separate video for like a mini dungeon guide as well if you guys are interested in that. I don't really have a whole lot of specific strats I do for the dungeon exactly, just sort of run through and kill stuff, but there are some significant points where you can skip quite a few monsters that does help speed it up a bit. So yeah, maybe you guys would be interested in that. But anyways, I will see you guys in that guide later tonight, and I hope you're all looking forward to it. Let me know if you've been killing Zammy at all and what enrage you've gotten to, and if you've gotten any drops down in the comments. See you guys later, and peace out.